All right, guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flav Oriana. I'm with my co-host over here, Hav Rodriguez.
What's up?
All right, guys, we got a special edition. The finals is officially over, so I don't know if you guys heard, but that team out in LA, the Purple and Gold, they ended up tying for the most championships right now with 17. And
Can you even really count the Celtics championships? They did, all theirs was in the 50s.
I mean, you sound
Bro,
like
half of those NBA players were like milkmans and postal service workers, dude.
I mean, you yes and no. I mean, you
A
could
lot of
count them.
Lakers championships are recent.
Yeah, 80s, some
80s and
70s.
above, two in the 70s, and then everything else 80s and above.
Yeah,
Celtics have like a good 8 that are like before the 70s.
yeah. I mean, you got to thank good old Bill Russell for that.
Yeah, well, I'm not discrediting them, but still, there was zero competition.
I don't know.
Or very few, bro, in my opinion.
It was a very small league at that time, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird how the NBA does like the whole. They want to count the Celtics championships, but they're not going to count the 76ers, but because they were part of the ABA and all that type of stuff. But yeah, going back to the Lakers, yeah, Lakers are with their 17 championship ended in 6 games, and that's over. No more bubble. NBA season is over, so let's get to it. All right, Hav, kick it
Yo, it was a
off.
fucking blowout. They were up like what, 30 something plus points at one point.
Yeah, 30, 35, around there. Yeah.
They won, and the Lakers won by 13, but at the end they were just chucking shit up, man.
They were
Fucking
chucking.
annihilated, bro. I told you they got to play. Miami has to play perfect every time to beat the Lakers, and they didn't.
They played perfect in Game 5. They played perfect in Game 3, but it wasn't enough. I
Every
mean,
other game, bro, they were playing perfect.
yeah. You know what it is? Is that this is why you need superstars. Jimmy Butler is a great player. All right, no discredit towards him. Great player, but he's at most a top 15, definitely top 20 player. He's not going to be able to do it by himself, and the pieces around him, he didn't have enough. I mean, you got Tyler Hero, Jay
Well,
Crowder.
everyone's young, bro. These guys aren't exactly the best ball players, bro. They
No,
just
you're
play
right
good
about
together.
you're right about that. I know there's some people that were saying that hey, if Goran Dragic was healthy, it would have made a difference. I don't
It
think it
could
would have made a
have.
difference.
It could have.
It
He
probably
was
would have forced it.
he was killing it, man. He just ran into injuries.
He ran into injuries.
They're not 100%, and then everyone else had to pick up whatever slack was missing, and then it was just downhill, dude. It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. No, yeah, it wasn't meant to be. It's unfortunate, but it's actually a lot of big kudos to the Miami Heat for getting to where they were at.
Bro, they
But
dominated their way to the finals. If you haven't realized it,
no, they did. They did, and that pick and roll matchup between Dragic and Bam Adebayo is unstoppable. But this is about the Lakers right now. We'll get back to the Heat in a second. But yeah, now this is great. For Laker Nation. They did it for Kobe. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kobe right now will be very, very proud. It's been what a year for those Laker fans out there. Losing Kobe in late January, and now that we're in October 12th, a day after the Lakers won a title. I mean, it's been an incredible 2020 to say the least.
can we talk about Rondo, man? That man killed it. Last game,
Rondo,
and he killed it, bro. 19 points, 8 for 11, bro.
this is why there is something called playoff Rondo.
Playoff
And this is
Rondo's real, dude. Not way off P.
no way off P, pandemic P, pathetic P. But
Pathetic P. I like that one.
but yeah, no, this is why you got on Paul George in the last podcast because for stuff like this you don't give yourself a nickname. People gave that nickname to Rondo for a reason. I mean, he made his name known.
That dude turned it up.
With the Celtics.
Kuzma finally didn't do anything again. Morris didn't
But
do shit.
no, but that's the thing. I mean, Kuzma, he got to fix that basketball IQ.
Kuzma,
I don't know what
bro,
it is.
I don't know, man. There was a petition to have Kuzma not receive a championship ring?
Yeah, I heard. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, he definitely deserves something because of his contribution he did in the season. But there was a couple of plays I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
Bro, he was absent for most of the playoffs, bro.
He was trying to close out on Duncan Robinson. I think it was game 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He tries to close out on Duncan Robinson and he jumps up. Why are you gonna jump on a 3-point shooter? Duncan Robinson makes a 3-point shot and it's a 4-point play right there, and he makes it seem like as if he didn't make the foul. He's a
terrible defender. Incredibly terrible.
He has 0 basketball IQ, and I don't know. Moving on forward, I mean, that's gonna go against him. I mean, luckily he got a ring, but he's got to work on that.
He gets, bro.
Maybe.
But you know, it was interesting that they put Caruso in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
They took Dwight Howard off from starting, and I believe he only played like a minute, anyways.
Yeah, but
so,
I mean,
but that small ball lineup where you just get one center and then everyone else a guard, man, that's some 2K shit.
No, it really is,
and it works out 2K, so it's receiving, it's going pretty good in real life too. So that might be the move.
Exactly. AD might have to play center moving on forward. I mean, that would be the best possible move for Anthony Davis. But that was a smart move by Vogel by putting in Caruso at the starting lineup.
Danny Green did all right. KCP had a kind of off night, but he was doing pretty well for the finals. He at least showed up for the finals.
He showed up for the finals, but I want to say something about Danny Green. For those people, part of Laker Nations ends up sending out death threats to his fiance and Danny Green for him missing that open 3-point shot in Game 5. I mean, shame on you guys. I mean, that was really unacceptable. I mean, there's no reason to hand out death threats, send death threats to Danny Green, saying that you're going to kill him and stuff like that, kill his wife too for missing that open 3-point shot. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game, that people love, but that's really unacceptable. That's going too far. I mean, I got the alert.
Yeah, that was bad, dude. I'm sorry to cut you off, but bro, that's crazy, dude. It's never that serious.
It's never that serious at all. I mean, I know LeBron.
I'm all for shitting on Danny Green for it, but
yeah,
that's too far.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what his fiance and he are feeling right now. I mean, sure, it's probably joy because they won the title, but man, I mean, that's
it's fake love by the Lakers fans right now. They still feel about Danny Green.
Clearly, yeah.
If they were to trade Danny Green away over this off season, the short off season, nobody would care in the Lakers.
Exactly. But Danny Green is the only person in the world right now that can say he is a back-to-back champion. He's the only player to have a title from Canada and with the Lakers. So, Danny Green's living good right now.
But yeah, no, congratulations to the Lakers. We said 4-1, I believe. Yeah, came out of 4-2. I didn't expect them to win the second game, to be honest, especially with injuries.
Yeah.
But that tells you, man, the Heat are something to look forward to in the future. But before getting to that, do you think this year is legitimate, or is there doubts, or ifs, or
I think an asterisk does belong on the title. And I'm not saying that for just Lakers. It would have been for anybody. If it was the Clippers, if they made it to the finals, or the Nuggets, or the Heat, if they won it, I think it definitely belongs into an asterisk just because of the fact that we were in this pandemic, and obviously we can't control a whole global pandemic. But, we took 5 months off for games to be played. Definitely your body has healed. You were able to recuperate. If you were able to use your time wisely, you would have been able to get your game better on. So it was kind of like a second season at that point. And I definitely feel that the winner definitely deserves an asterisk. I mean, this is something very equivalent towards a shortened season. So yeah, I mean, regardless, they won the title. It's going to go down in the record book as them winning a title, but it definitely does belong with an asterisk belonging.
If there's any asterisk for it, it's that it should be one of the hardest championship runs that anyone's had to deal with, bro. You had the whole global pandemic to deal with. Now, you could say
Correct.
LeBron benefited from the rest, but so did a lot of the other players.
Of course, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And they had to work with around COVID. Some of these guys didn't even get in the gym that whole time they were off. They had to play in a bubble. There was no break. Your whole life was basketball at that point, man.
Yeah,
You couldn't even go out to go grocery shopping.
You're right.
Mentally exhausting to be there. And all the games they played, and every game was every match was tough, man.
Remember that match we saw in the bubble, the regular season one between the Nuggets and the Jazz. That was one of the better matchups that we've seen in the whole bubble.
This was one of the hardest trophies, I think. And
Yeah.
they should not discredit the Lakers for taking, it being easy. Yeah, they benefited from a couple of things, but a lot of teams have in the past too. Look at the Warriors when they benefited. LeBron's team going down with injuries.
Yeah, no, you're
The
absolutely
Raptors
right.
benefited from Kevin Durant. It happens, bro. Injuries are part of the sports, and that's just what it is. But for anyone to discredit this championship, nah, crazy, bro. This is one of the harder ones, if anything.
Okay, I can agree with you on that. It has to definitely be one of the harder ones, and you're definitely right about that. I'm just saying that everybody had 5 months off, and I think that's the reason why I'm giving it an asterisk. Sure, it's definitely harder. You have to be away from your families for a number of months, and
Bro, it's mentally
wasn't
draining,
easy.
bro. That's there should be nothing.
Yeah.
This is one of the harder. This is one of the most respectable trophies,
Correct,
regardless
yeah.
of who would have won it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it deserves an asterisk at all.
You don't believe? Okay.
It's a legitimate trophy, bro. It's not like the Astros.
Yeah, that trophy should definitely be rescinded.
Shout out to the Rays, by the way, for going 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan, and fuck them, but I hate the Astros more.
Yeah, definitely. I hate the Astros too. I don't think it's right.
But yeah, so now, with that being said, the Lakers, they're going to. Well, first of all, nobody knows when the season's coming back. It's supposed to start soon if we were going according to regular schedule, but this is not regular schedule.
No, Adam Silver said something originally.
Around January or something like that. I remember him saying.
Yeah, I'm assuming when he means January, the NBA is very big on Martin Luther King Day, so I'm assuming maybe by then I could see them doing something around there. That Martin Luther King Day is in the
Maybe
middle
by
of January.
Christmas, man.
They said Christmas at one point, but I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, you're most likely gonna have like the top teams, like what, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Nets.
Nah,
like the
you gotta
Bucks.
have every team play, dude. It's fresh start, man.
Well, in a regular season, not everybody plays that opening night. You have like the top teams. Like, for
No, I
example,
know that, but I'm saying though, like, once they get started, every team should be able to compete, not like the bubble where records were.
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
already
yeah.
had records.
Of course, yeah. Every team's gonna be able to play. I'm just saying that opening night definitely has to be the champions, the Lakers. You want to put in the Clippers there too because they're one of the top teams in the NBA. I say the Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets because of Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
You got Golden State coming back,
Golden State, those boys in the
and they have a
LA,
high draft pick, man.
which I don't know. That makes it really enticing right there.
They could trade that away for something good, man.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of options right now. The NBA is really, really hot. This next season that's coming up is going to be one of the bigger seasons that we're going to be able to see, because you're going to have all the players, the teams that didn't make it to the bubble because they had horrible records. They're going to be well rested. They should be able to have plenty of continuity with one another.
You got a new coach in the 76ers.
Yeah, Doc Rivers.
You still have the offseason to look forward to. We're not even, there's a lot of free agents this year and big names
Plus,
too, like AD.
Yeah. Plus the NBA draft is going to be happening, I believe, next month. So I mean, there's a lot going on for the NBA. But for the Lakers, I mean, what we got looking out for the Lakers' future? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well, you got a lot of things to consider. First, you have to consider LeBron's age. He's getting older, but he looks great.
He says that he could play for plenty more years, but Father Time's undefeated. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to have playing in his prime. I'm gonna say that he probably has maybe like 2 more years left in his prime, and that's it. I think this was his.
You still
last,
think LeBron is in his prime?
This is towards the end of his prime. I'm not saying this is the very peak. This is like towards the end. Like he's getting closer towards the door, of his prime. But
I can believe him for 2 more years.
Yeah.
I think that's that. Not this year coming up, but I think the following year. I think we really see a
drop off.
Drop, but it's hard because LeBron's a great playmaker.
Yeah.
And if he has teammates like AD who can score, then he doesn't have to do everything.
Correct.
The wear and tear is different, but speaking of AD, we don't even know if he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
He was asked briefly about it after they won the championship. He said, "I have no idea what's gonna happen." And to be honest, I really believe him. I don't think he knows either where he wants to go.
Yeah, he already got his ring. I know there's talks prior that he wanted to go back to Chicago and play for his hometown. That would be great for the NBA. I mean, the Chicago Bulls have been pretty much a dump for a number of years. I mean, the only player that you have there to look forward to is Zach LaVine. So, I mean, you pair up Anthony Davis with Zach LaVine. I mean, that's a pretty good tandem right there.
I disagree with you completely. I don't think Zach LaVine's that kind of caliber player.
No, he's not. But he's the best player on that team as of right now we speak.
Yeah, but that's... What are you speaking on? Like, what, Kobe White's your second best? Like, there's really not... It's not really nothing to be, like, bragging about. I'm the best player on this bad team. Like, it's
something to be bragging about. Obviously, Zach LaVine is very famous for his dunks, that he participated in the dunk contest. But Zach LaVine, in my opinion, I mean, if you don't have a star, I mean, that's Zach LaVine. That's Zach LaVine for you. He's gonna be able to drop you like 20 points on a bad team. You put him on a good team, he'll probably drop you like 15.
Anyways, I'm not even gonna get into that. I completely disagree with you on Zach LaVine. I think he's just another bench player at this point.
A bench? Wow, that's really insulting right there.
Bro, what has he done? Nothing. Wow, he had one game where he chucked up a lot of threes and made them.
I mean, he's been on pretty bad teams. I mean, you got Minnesota, horrible.
So
franchise.
has Devin Booker, and look at him.
Devin Booker has been in a horrible franchise too.
You can't use the horrible team for you doing personally bad. Kemba Walker was on a horrible team, and Kemba Walker was shining. He was obviously a great player. Zach LaVine's just not that guy, bro.
I'm not saying he's that guy. I'm just saying, like, he's right there.
Yeah, but you're trying to say that him and AD will do something. I'm trying to tell you they're not.
No. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say that they'll be able to do anything. Please don't try to use that. Like, they're not gonna win no title or anything like that. They'll definitely make like a playoff spot. They'll make at least Chicago somewhat exciting, for basketball. But yeah, they're not that tandem where they're gonna make some noise in the East. No. The East belongs to KD and Kyrie at this point.
I disagree with you again there because they haven't done anything. So they got to prove it first. There's potential, but you got to wait and see. As far as I'm concerned, it's still the Heat because they came out on top there, and we have yet to see the Nets. Yeah. But I have high hopes for them.
Okay.
But we don't know if AD. But getting back to AD, we have no idea where he's going, and I think he should stay. He wanted to go to LA for a while. Like, he can play out with LeBron for the rest of LeBron's year, and then maybe maybe he wants a short-term deal where he only plays out with LeBron and that's it. But he should definitely come back for at least 2 years.
I agree with you. He should definitely come back. I mean, he's always going to be competing for titles as long as LeBron is there. He's going to have more marketing. He's going to have more endorsement deals because he's going to be a Laker. Obviously, the Lakers are, one of the most famous franchises in the NBA.
But you think he'll care about the money at this point? He's made a lot. He's going to continue making a lot.
Trust me, at this point,
he's won a ring. So what is he? Well, it's really up to AD. Some guys just want to chase the money. Some guys want more rings.
I'm just saying that, with him winning a title, him playing for the Lakers, there comes more.
Yeah, there's a lot of luxuries. There's a lot of.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
With the Lakers, but
I never heard.
Is he thinking like that? I don't think so.
I think so. He moved to LA prior to him being a Laker for a reason. But obviously, I never heard anybody say, I don't want no more money. I mean, people want money. And with him being a Laker comes more money in endorsements, more popularity, more marketing. I think he should stay with the Lakers. He's going to compete for titles. He's going to always be in the playoffs. He's always going to be on the premier, what's it called, ABC, ABC matchups. Whenever ABC ends up holding the NBA games.
I mean, I get the luxury part, but what I'm trying to say is, where's his mindset right now? Like, how many is he gonna go ring hunting again?
I think so.
Is he gonna stay and just because him and LeBron are a great fit.
It's an excellent fit, and then,
I just think everyone else on that team needs to really step it up. Rondo wasn't anywhere as good as he was in the playoffs in the regular season. Dwight Howard was pretty good for them.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. I think the Lakers should definitely try to see what they can do with Kyle Kuzma. I know this sounds like a far stretch.
No, it's not, because they were just actually in trade considerations before the deadline. People really thought he was going to get traded, and they didn't.
I think his playoff performance really does solidify that he definitely needs to be part of a trade package.
If Kuzma's not giving you 20 points off the bench, he's not doing anything for you. He can't defend. He has low basketball IQ for his passing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, if he doesn't drop 20 points for you, he's no good to you.
He's not a rebound hunter at all.
He's nothing. So. He's nothing but a scorer, and he could barely do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got potential, but I don't know, man. I agree with you. They should do something with Kuzma. You can get a lot of return, because some other team will see value in him, and you can get something better in return.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Lakers are not going back into rebuilding mode or nothing. They're still in championship form. So
yeah, Lakers might possibly be able to get maybe one more ring out of it.
I think if AD stays, yeah.
Yeah, without AD, no.
It depends, and you never know what if some crazy shit happens and Kawhi goes,
Yeah, that's true, because Kawhi's contract does expire after next season. So,
but we'll see what happens with AD.
I think if I'm Dwight Howard, I don't know. I would retire. I'm just saying that I would retire because remember, Dwight Howard has had a bad back throughout his whole career. Well, yeah, for the majority of his career, and ending on top with a championship, that's gonna help out a lot. I mean, people are gonna remember him as a champion. His second stint with the Lakers, he finishes off on top. He wanted to finish off on top his first time around with the Lakers. I think it will be an excellent way, for him to go out.
It is a nice way, but he might still want to play somewhere to collect a couple of checks.
He might.
Or he can return if they have him back. I don't see why he's not,
Yeah. He'll be most likely...
He was playing pretty good, man. And when he was playing against Denver, man, oh, man, that was great to see.
No, that was great to see, but that's the only problem. Is like now you're going to have to put Dwight on certain matchups and against certain teams.
Yeah, and the Lakers still have McGee, so you don't know. It's hard, man. The Lakers got a lot of offseason moves they got to deal with.
Yeah, of course.
But speaking of Howard, bro, do you think adding a championship makes him a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. Now, you want to talk about the first 5 years of his career? Honestly,
the first half of his career is
Hall
of Fame worthy.
Mm-hmm.
The last half, not
championship
really.
Championship definitely does help. But
it does, but he contributed in a small part. I don't think he was a huge factor.
I think he gets in, obviously, because, what he ended up doing in Orlando. He was a defensive player of the year.
3 times.
8-time
All-Star.
He led the league in rebounding, led the league in blocks.
Twice blocks, 5 for rebounding, yeah. He's all defensive first team 5 times.
And nobody predicted them to make the finals that year. In 2009, nobody.
And all NBA first 5 actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Multiple time All-Star. This guy was on the cusp of actually really, having an outstanding career. but then everything dwindled down after you know after
Well, he had injuries. He had a little attitude problem.
yeah, he went with the Lakers, Houston. After that, he
Yeah,
ended
he
up
was.
going.
Well, from what they were saying and teams were saying, it was like locker room drama.
Mhm.
He was acting like a baby, and he even said it himself. Like he set himself straight. He got his act together, and look where he is now.
I mean, when you ended up seeing him with the Wizards, with the Hornets, with the
Houston.
Hawks. No. Houston, that was understandable. I mean, he played a big role in Houston. He was actually a starter. But then you had him as a bench player with the Hornets, the Hawks. You had him
He
with
was
the
everywhere,
Wizards.
man.
He was at one point traded to the Grizzlies, but he never showed up to play for the Grizzlies.
But that's what I'm saying. He was doing shit like that.
That's why I felt like it really affected his career. But then when he took that non-guaranteed contract from the Lakers, he really stepped it up, and he
He
proved
had
that.
to. He knew that was his last chance.
Yeah,
It's
but
good for him. He didn't fuck it up because it paid off for him now. But like as far as Hall of Fame, I think he does get in, only because of this only because of his ring.
the
I
ring,
think
yeah.
if it wasn't for the ring, he would have not gotten it.
You think so? I think he would have got in.
Because people would have just been like, he was just a good player for half the time he was there,
Yeah,
and people are only gonna remember the last half because that's the most recent memory of him.
yeah. I can tell you this for sure: he's not getting no statue in any of the teams he played for.
Nah, definitely not. He should get a statue in Houston, man.
No, he would have gotten a statue if he played his whole career out in Orlando.
Yeah, if he was still the same Dwight and Magic, then yeah. But nah, I think he'll get in barely,
Yeah,
barely.
but let's talk about Rondo right now because Rondo made history yesterday. Yes, he got his second ring, but he also became the very first player to get a ring from both franchises, from the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. He got his first ring at 22 years old with the Boston Celtics in 2008, and he got his second ring yesterday playing for the Lakers. I mean, that's history right there. Those are the two most elite franchises in the NBA. And wow, Rondo definitely, in my opinion, he punched his ticket to go to the Hall of Fame with getting his second ring. I mean, he another one.
Playoff Rondo, man.
Yeah, he another one was at one point, looking like as of where he was gonna go.
Who would have thought him and LeBron would be good teammates?
I don't know. I never imagined him going to the Lakers because ever since he got
LeBron.
traded.
And he was
Wait.
Boston. He's from Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But I think it really did help out because remember everything went downhill ever since he got traded to Dallas. Remember that whole fiasco with him and Rick Carlisle, where he didn't want to play for Dallas. Rick Carlisle didn't want him in Dallas anymore. So yeah, I thought his career was going to go downhill. He gets traded. He ends up playing for the Pelicans. Plays well with Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins, and plays for the Kings and a number of teams after that, and then finds his way with the Lakers. And wow, look at the transition he did. Played a huge
he's
role
still streaky when it comes to scoring.
scoring, but that's not his primary role. He was never known as a scorer. He was
No,
always known as
he's
a
not.
playmaker.
But it also hurts the team at times. You see them leave Rondo wide open.
Of course, yeah, and they're still gonna leave him wide open.
Yeah, they're still going to do that. That's not changing.
That's not changing anytime soon. But yeah, his primary thing as a player has always been a playmaker. So he's always been an excellent playmaker, and the fact that he was able to play along with LeBron, two players with the two most highest IQs in the NBA. I mean, that's kind of like a recipe for greatness right there. I mean, you saw in these playoffs. I mean, whenever you paired up LeBron and Rondo on the same court, them playing alongside one another, it was pretty unstoppable at that point because they were able to dictate, pace of play, screens, how they wanted the games to go along.
I didn't always work out, I'll tell you that. There's a lot of video footage of him. He's just getting left open, and it's 4-on-5 because he can't do anything.
No, I'm talking about the playmaking. I'm not talking about, Rondo shooting or anything like that.
No, you said they were dominant.
Yeah.
But you didn't say where exactly. Playmaking, yeah, but I wouldn't call it dominant if you're lacking in that one area.
Well, I'm not Rondo never been known as a scorer, never been known as a shooter. So
No,
I'm
right,
going
yeah,
by
but at least
what they're known for.
I'll say this: Rondo works in the playoffs. The regular season, not so much. But playoffs, I would 100% just hold him for that.
Yeah.
Because the regular season Rondo is among the worst.
As of right now, yeah.
Ever since he left. Ever since
Yeah.
he left Boston. That's, yeah. It's a long time, bro. That's not changing.
Hmm. But as for the Lakers' future, I want to just say Lakers should probably get rid of like players like J.R. Smith. Didn't do anything for the Lakers at
He
all.
was just insurance, dude. He wasn't meant for anything. He was just
No, I know, but
insurance.
they don't really need him. Not
No,
going
they
into
don't. They don't need him. But that's what I'm saying. They might not need Dwight Howard either.
they
Look how
might
they
not need
won.
they might not need a Dion Waiters.
So, they like I said, they got a lot of offseason moves to deal with, and you know what, they need to improve on their 3-point shooting
They need that. They
because
need
they were still among the worst in 3-point shooting.
they need a primary ball handler. I mean, they're
That's
not going to use
LeBron.
Well, no, a point guard. I'm sorry. They need a good point guard. No, you're not going to put LeBron at point guard.
No, they're not going to. But I don't think you need. I just think you need to surround yourself with shooters.
Yeah. Although I was very surprised that they haven't really used Quinn Cook in the playoffs. So, I mean, he's a good knockdown shooter. I was very surprised to see that.
Danny Green's had a pass, so they based him off of that, and he went 33% in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that guy.
I don't know. Looks like age is getting up to him at that point.
Some shit's going on with him because he hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to defend well and shoot well, and it's like, yeah, I get it. When you're older, you lose that a little bit, but it just seems like he can't shoot at all.
Yeah, I don't know. He had a drop off, coming back. But let's go on with these Heat. The Heat future. I mean, look, nobody really expected them to make it to the finals this year.
Yep, nobody.
I mean,
Heat fans.
Heat fans, yeah, of course, yeah, Rick Ross and everybody like that, DJ Khaled, but they had like a huge victory getting Jimmy Butler because after Dwayne Wade ended up retiring, I mean, it was just a matter of like are the Heat going to be able to get moving on forward, and they were able to get Jimmy Butler. And wow, Jimmy Butler really did help out the culture, and the Heat, was able to groom in players, and everything just flourished, with the Heat. I want to say they had a very successful season. Just making the finals.
100%. No one expected them to get this far.
Especially forcing to 6 games into the finals. I mean, we predicted it 5, and that was just being generous. They forced us, going to game 6. But the Heat definitely need more scoring. Do you need a star? Do you need a superstar at this point? I mean, what recommendations are you gonna give out for the Heat?
I don't have any recommendations for them. I don't know who the hell would fit well with them. But I could say they're looking like they're a piece away.
One piece away, at least, yeah.
Because when Butler and, Tyler Hero was good, but, he's still young. He still has to develop that consistency. He went 3 for 10 on his last game. That's not going to get it done.
No, it's not going to get it done.
He
but
played
which is
30
scary.
minutes and hit 7 points. It's not going to get it done. And Jay Crowder is an on and off for you.
Mm-hmm.
Butler and Adebayo are the only ones that can really carry throughout night and night. But I think...
And Dragic, too.
Yeah, and Dragic, too. Yeah, but I think the Heat just need a better bench. I think they need to upgrade their bench, and I think they need one more star player in that starting lineup. If not, like a 6-man.
More like a Lou Williams type of player?
Yeah, like a Lou Williams type of player.
That's going to be tough. I don't know. I mean, Montrezl Harrell is going to be a free agent this year. Does Miami scoop him up?
They could. I mean, a lot of GMs are saying that Miami might be the next, hotspot for free agents to go to.
Of course. I mean, there are rumors that Giannis Antetokounmpo is looking at Miami as a possible destination after this offseason.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, that's going to look ridiculous. The East is going to look bonkers, dude.
But there's the same rumors that are saying that he wants to go to Golden State.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I don't know how much I should buy into that, but that'd be interesting to see. But they definitely need either another player, superstar that can score. I just think they need a scorer. Actually, thinking about it now, they do need just another scorer, and they need a better bench. And I want to say that their defense has to step. They have to step up their defense because they were playing zone because they couldn't guard man to man.
they couldn't, and that's the problem. You playing against LeBron and Rondo, who are excellent, who know how to get through any type of zone. It's not gonna work. Sure,
Yeah,
it works against people like Giannis who have a hard time getting around it because they have no jump shot, and they fall too dependent on their 3-point shooters. And then look at that, they able to close out on the 3-point shooters, and you make them one dimensional.
yeah. The Heat need upgrade in defense and one more scorer, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But I mean, aside from that, everyone that team plays hard. They got heart.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I,
I
I
mean, Tyler
mean,
Hero's on.
Tyler
I'm sorry,
Hero
go on.
surprised. Tyler Hero surprised me
He really
because
did make a name for himself in these playoffs.
yeah, because he was killing it, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
he dropped off some games too, but that dude's still young, man. That dude's gonna
he's
be
only 20
nasty.
years old. He's only 20 years old.
He's gonna be nasty, man.
Yeah,
And also, what's this guy's name? Help me out here. I forgot his
Duncan
name.
Robinson.
Yes,
Whew.
he came out of nowhere, man.
This
I,
guy is like this guy knocking down what he knocked down in game five, seven 3-pointers, if I'm not mistaken.
if he can play like that almost every night, he'll be unstoppable.
Exactly. I mean, the Heat's future is looking very, very bright.
It's
They're
definitely
going
bright. If they're moving forward, there's no way they're gonna take a step back. I
and
expect them at least to make the conference finals again.
exactly anything less than that is a disappointment. And in Pat Riley, I trust. I mean, Pat Riley has been able to make all the smart moves, and Eric Spoelstra. I mean,
Yes. Dude,
what
what
a
a
great coach he
coach,
is.
man.
People were labeling him, that can't win without LeBron and D Wade, and look, he proved it. He proved that, hey, you give me players, I can coach them well. He knows how to handle a culture, and look, he took the team to the finals. So yeah, no, I'm very, very impressed with the Miami Heat moving on forward.
Well, assuming the season could start on time or something, which I hope it doesn't take too long.
Hmm.
Uh, I definitely have. If the Lakers can keep AD, they'll definitely at least be back in conference finals.
Hmm.
And the same thing with the Heat. The Heat are only going to get better from here.
Of course, yes.
So I expect them to be back. But now there's also going to be more competition with Brooklyn coming back. You got Golden State coming back.
I can't wait, bro. I really
You're going to have
can't wait.
off-season moves, so you'll never know what the Rockets will do now, what crazy shit they'll try, because Antoni's not there anymore. So
Nope. And we
And
don't
you
know
have
who
the 76ers who will be back together again with a new coach.
with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers. I mean, he's not gonna have those same expectations with the Clippers, but you give him Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I mean, it's more to his.
To me, the Bucks will. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Embiid and Simmons, they're gonna get better with Doc,
Hmm.
and hopefully Tobias Harris and Al Horford.
Yeah, that should be working in Tobias Harris's favor because he played well under Doc Rivers.
Yeah, but they also need some couple of shooters. So,
Hmm.
because if Tobias Harris is shooting like the way he was, yeah,
Yeah,
that's not gonna help.
that's true.
But there's a lot of offseason moves. You got the Golden State with the high draft pick. The LaMelo Ball's coming into the league.
Yeah,
Let's see
very
what he
exciting.
can do. He's supposed to be the best ball brother.
Yeah, true.
That's
Very
what
exciting.
that's what his
very
dad said
exciting
too.
stuff.
So
Of course, yeah. Very exciting stuff moving on forward with the NBA. But look, guys, this is gonna most likely wrap it up for us. I mean, we have tons to talk about in our next episode, and yeah, the draft should be coming up soon. You know, off season. You know what trades are going to be happening, what signings are going to be happening. We're going to keep you all up to tabs with that. But Ha, if you want to say any last words before we get going.
Nope.
That's all right. It. Well, you kept it short and simple. All right, guys. Well, I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna. You know, that's Hav Rodriguez, and we're done for tonight. All right, guys.
Later.
All right, you guys have a safe night.